doing? We are being very quiet today because Jasper has got us into this house, upsetting the household at 7 o'clock in the morning, and people are just sort of like getting up and going to the bathroom and stuff, starting their morning rituals. Haven't you, Jasper?
What?
Got us in there at 7 o'clock in the morning, upsetting the household.
Well, you did get it to try and pass it.
Yeah. So, look, we've got a few bits going on in
You
here.
weren't upsetting the household, it was arranged.
Huh?
It was arranged.
I heard you talking to the builder going, what, you want to get in there at 7 o'clock? You persuaded him to do that.
No, she knows I get her.
Yeah. Right, so look, we got this room as part of some other bits and pieces we got to do. Got some deep chases. Probably going to get some foam in now, are we? To initiate that.
To say yes.
Got some shallow chases as well, that needs fixing up. So we got some areas that need bonding up, and we got some bone dry plaster. So we have got different suctions and a brand new ceiling, which is plasterboard. Looks like it's soundboard to me, being that colour. So what we're going to use as our stabilising unit and our bonding agent is red grit, because if we use PVA in here, you probably need to give it a good few coats, whereas red grit's going to be one coat.
Yes.
Yeah. So that'll be one coat, and then it'll be done, and everything will be the same suction. So just before we do put some red grit on, it's a good idea to get your scrims up as well, because you're going to have trouble sticking scrim to wet red grit. Right, so here we are in another little room, which is slightly different, but we're sticking shade in here, leading into his own devices. It's like a little utility round the side. Right, red grit that stinks because it's got water in it. It's been kept for ages. Absolutely,
It's a primer. It's a primer coat red grit.
It's horrible. It smells.
It smells.
So we've got foam in there, which is doing its job already, and then we've got these things going on up here, which apparently are to hang kitchen units on or something. I don't even know how they get them in there, but they're really in there. And Jasper told me to get the grinder out, and we're going to grind them out before 8 o'clock in the morning, upsetting everybody in the whole street. It's done. There was 5 of them.
Sure.
Okay, so we've actually got some daylight now. I've got some, I remember, extra time. Was it EASYMIX? Guys, they gave me some sachets. I'm trying to talk Jasper into us using some half-time. And they've given us some bonded as well, so I think at least we'll use some in the bonded and fill out those chases and see how that goes. But yeah, just got a couple of minutes here, and then we're going to get in there and start cracking on with it. Jasper's red grit in it, and we just need that to pick up, really. I'll tell you what I am rather glad about though is we have actually got some creature comforts today. As you've seen from the previous videos, there's loads of outside stuff to be done in the middle of January when it's cold and the temperatures are all over the place. So yeah, it's nice to have some windows and a roof over your head. So here we go, look, there's a little issue that we found. Look, these new windows have gone in and there's quite a bit of space there from the top of the head. So we are going to get sheet plasterboard up there like so. Might be able to nip some screws in right above the frame there. We're going to have to stick it. What we're going to stick it with?
There's some docked out, or we can use silicone.
Silicone could be a good one. Or we've got some foam out, and we'll put a bit of, should we get some foam on it actually?
Get some foam on it.
We'll do foam, yeah, and get some screws in. Huh?
Need to dry the head off.
Yeah, we'll get some screws up, nip them in there to hold that back edge on. Alright, look, now Jasper's going to show us this amazing technique, because we need to dry up this grit up here. So he's got a handful of multi, and he's I have never in all my years seen that before. Good, no wonder we need to dust sheet everything up. Get a bit of foam on the back of the board, a bit of foam actually up there as well. So there we go, look, I managed to get this board up there. This is a bit of soundboard which is left over. It wasn't quite long enough, I didn't have a piece long enough to get to the end, so I've had to put another piece up there. And look, we just used a couple of pieces and bent them in there to hold it up whilst that foam takes effect. And we also managed to get some screws in the back that can come out afterwards. This one was a little bit more successful in the sense I could cut it so it wedges up there a lot better and just put a couple of screws up and then one there at the back just to hold that still whilst that foam sets. Okay, so EASYMIX sent us a box full of these sachets and gave us this stuff which is specifically for bonding, which is handy because that's exactly what we've got to fill up all these chasers and everything. So it says on here 6 litres of water to pink bonding, and it will speed the setting time up to 30 minutes. Okay, so apparently we can set this after 30 minutes to 6 litres of water. What's that about? Is that like half a bag, or I guess a bag is, I'm assuming it's one of these to a whole bag. So yeah, depending on how much you want. So yeah, we're going to stick this in there, and I noticed it says there's a difference between pink bonding and grey bonding, so I can't see through the camera what's it saying. No, it's exactly the same. Use 1 sachet for 6 litres of grey bonding as well. Well, any bonding then. There we go, we've cut it open, I've had a little look inside, and it is like almost like a soap powder, and it looks exactly the same as the Storm additives that we've tried before. That's another reason why I don't like these grits. It's going to be on there for ages, that is. Okay, so we put the half time in the bonding and knocked up less than a full bag of bonding, and we put it up here, and that was bang on 9 o'clock, and the time is now 9:31, and that is nowhere near able to be set. It's still very, very wet, as you'd expect it to be if we put nothing in there at all. So we'll just have to keep our eye on it. Okay, so the time is 3 minutes past 10. And this bonding it's still a bit wet, but I can feel it. It's definitely going now. It's definitely going. Okay, so just as a control gauge, I knocked this up after, but used a tiny little bit residual dirty water from the bucket, from this first gauge that we put the bonding half time in. So this was knocked up directly afterwards, and it's gone over the same surface, and this is much, much wetter than this. Okay, so the time is 10:19, and this bonding has gone. You see it's browning. This was the stuff which went over plasterboard, but had none of that in there. We just brushed it in, but that is not ready to set yet. Okay, so the time is 10:42, and this bonding that did not have the accelerator in there is still just a tad, a little bit wet. You probably could get away with it going over it, and it's setting underneath. In the meantime, we've got the ceiling on as the first thing. This is going to need 3 coats of multi because it was so bad. That's had 2 already. This has had a tight coat, and this is getting its first coat. I mean, it's quite a complicated setting out, to be honest with you. We're going to get this on as soon as we can. Let's have a little recap into exactly what's going on in here. The ceiling has had 2 coats and is being troweled up. This has had 1 tight coat. This has had 1 coat of plaster, but is knocked up behind this. This has had 2 coats, but it's going to get 3. Jasper's been dealing with this mostly, and he's picked up the reveals already. Shay had a hawk full of gear left, and we've taken that off of him and mixed it back to speed up this set to get this first coat on this wall. So other than the ceiling, everything is pretty much up to the level where we can knock up again and lay all the walls down, and the ceiling should be in front of it with 2 coats. Jasper did say he wanted to 1 coat sponge the ceiling, but I insisted that we did it the right way or no way at all. Okay, the time is 7 minutes past 11, and we're all on in there. So we've got a tiny little bit of time on our hands right now. We are going to do a 2-coat sponge system. I mean, Jasper's always been master, so whenever I come with him, I let him lead the way. So this is what he likes to do. It's sponge floating, but with 2 coats of plaster rather than 1. I would argue it draws it back a little bit too much unnecessarily, but I will also argue it does leave a very, very flat finish. Okay, so yeah, especially if you do 2 coats. So one of the benefits we've got going on in here from the red grit, where it kills up so much of the suction, is all the walls are pretty much behaving in exactly the same way. We haven't got one with high suction and another one with low suction, and they're going on at different rates. So that's one of the benefits of using something that does kill all the suction, and also allows you to get much bigger gauges on, like the whole room, and still have time to get around it, you know? If you broke it up into smaller bits, faster bits, then it sometimes is a little bit slower, because you can only pick off a certain amount. You need to get back onto it before it goes off. Oh yeah. So this is basically behaving like a regular float would use on floating on a background or something. It's just really buffing out and taking any ripples out and livening up that surface. Okay, so the time is 2 minutes past 12. This wall here has just been laid down, and with the same gear, Jasper's just laying that wall down, and then that's it. Everything is on, and it's just a stroll over the finish line. Ceiling's in front of everything. This wall needs a nice little flatten now because it's picking up a bit, and then this one, and then yeah, we'll start clearing up and getting out of it. Okay, so there we go. The time is 13:24, 24 minutes past 1. Room's down, just need a little bit of a tidy up. I just need to brush in a couple of internals on these last two walls, clean the beads off. There we go. Considering we knocked up the bonding pretty much 9 o'clock this morning. Okay, and all we've used in here is 20-inch troughs. Like so, carbon steel, 20 by 5. And then a little bit of sponging on the ceiling, 2 coats and stuff. And then just to final off, dropping down to the stainless steel flexible trowels. So yeah, been pretty easy going. Pair of us in here, not really stressed too much. It did get a little bit complicated at a couple of points, but you know, it's just one of those, isn't it? We got through it. So there you go, room's complete. Okay, here's some work that we did previously at this location. Very nice room. I believe the episode was the walk to wall boots review. That's when we first got them, and we did this area, Shay and I. So there you go, that's what happened today on the job. It absolutely poured down, and the sun's come out now. After I've already packed everything in the van and got soaking wet. My window was open, my driver's side seat is soaking wet. But it's just one of those things, and I'm in quite a good mood. It's Thursday. I'll probably get this video up tonight because tomorrow I am going and travelling to Hastings to spend the weekend there with my fiancée, as it's her birthday tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to be there, and I'm not going to be back to work until Tuesday. So yeah, we're going to have a really, really nice weekend off, eating in restaurants, drinking beer, I guess, and looking at tourist attractions. Okay, yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh yeah, so yeah, that the half time, not extra time, always get confused. The half-time stuff for the bonding, I'm not too sure why exactly they have a separate sachet especially for bonding, and I assume it would work in hardwall as well. The only thing I can think of is that bonding, that undercoat, the thistle bonding coat, is very, very sensitive to dirty water. So if you do start messing around with dirty water, say if you knock up a bucket full of bonding and then keep the dirty water from that and knock up again, okay, and then keep the dirty water from that, by the time you get into 3 goes of it, you're getting into dangerous levels where the stuff is going to go off inside the bucket. So you do have to be really careful bonding, because it can go on you so quickly. And I'm just assuming then that the stuff for the bonding isn't quite as potent as the other stuff to obviously remedy that. But as we saw from the video, it did hang around for quite a long time and then shot off right at the end. When it did decide to go, it went quick, you know, which is the same as the other additives I've noticed. It doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. It gives you time to play with it, get on with it, and then like, yeah, it gets to a certain time and then it just shoots straight off, rather than going off, you know, gradually as you'd probably expect it to. You know, you feel it picking up and you go on it, say, yeah, you don't feel it picking up, don't think it pick up, and then well, oh Jesus, it's gone, you know what I mean? So there you go. All the usual stuff, like and subscribe and all that. The YouTube algorithm loves it. If you want to talk to me and other people, come over to the Facebook group, which is called Plaster Master Smurf 74, exactly the same as the channel and the playlist. So that being said, you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to, in Hastings, and I'll see you next week. All right, take it easy.